Hebrews, Hebrews, Hebrews. This is Prophets of Awakening. This is our Israelite Advanced Bible Study night, Tuesday night. It's the 15th of March, 2022. We kind of talked about this before, but we're going to go into it a little more in depth about the knowing that the African American or the Negroes were the true Jews. Shine light on that. That'll be our topic for discussion later on. I'm asking everybody to like, share, subscribe to the Prophets of Awakening channel. Hit the notification button if you can. This is a non-Messianic channel. For those that don't know, we deal with the Tanakh, so-called Book of Remembrance, the Old Testament, and the Torah. First 5 books of the Old Testament that was given to Moses on Mount Sinai. Okay, so I'm saying shalom and welcome everyone. Welcome to Prophets of Awakening and welcome to our advanced Bible study. We're going to do our moment of silence, prayer, Psalms, and the current events. A little need to know information. Then we go into the Q&A and then go into the lesson. Okay, so a moment of silence is for Yahweh, our Creator, and his demon, the Lord of hosts, and all that they're doing to bring about our captivity return and take us back to our homeland. Oh Lord, we thank you for your great mercy and your great power and wisdom. And we tarry, waiting for your powerful deliverance of your people Israel. Oh Lord, you have given us insight into the scriptures of our forefathers. You, oh Lord, have directed us to who you are and your role and goings on in heaven and earth. Oh Lord, you spake through your prophet Isaiah and said that you would help Abraham's seed, and that you have done by waking us up. You have completed that promise as of this day. You said, oh Lord, that you would remove the darkness from around us. Tarry not, oh Lord, for the latter days are here, and we are waiting and watching for you, oh Lord, for your powerful deliverance. Peace be unto you. Okay. I'm going to read the Psalms. Okay. Okay, I'm going to read Psalm 88. It's a cry for deliverance from death. O Lord, God of my salvation, I cry day and night before thee. Let my prayer come before thee. Incline thine ear unto my cry, for my soul is full of troubles, and my life draweth nigh unto the grave. I am counted with them that go down into the pit. I am as a man that hath no strength, free among the dead, like the slain that lie in the grave, whom thou remember no more, and they are cut off from thine hand. Thou hast laid me in the lowest pit, in darkness and in the depths, deeps. Thy wrath lieth hard upon me, and thou hast afflicted me with all thy ways. Selah, thou hast put away mine acquaintance far from me. Thou hast made me an abomination unto them. I am shut up and cannot come forth. Mine eye mourneth by reason of affliction. Lord, I have called daily upon thee. I have stretched out my hands unto thee. Wilt thou show wonders to the dead? Shall the dead arise and praise thee? Selah. Shall thy loving kindness be declared in the grave, or thy faithfulness in destruction? Shall thy wonders be known in the dark, and my righteousness in the land of forgetfulness? But unto thee have I cried, O Lord, and in the morning shall my prayer prevent thee. Lord, why castest thou off my soul? Why hidest thou thy face from me? I am afflicted and ready to die from my youth up. While I suffer terrors, I am distracted. Thy fierce wrath goeth over me. Thy terrors have cut me off. They come round about me daily like water. They compass me about together. Lover and friend have thou put far from me, and my acquaintance into darkness. So that was Psalms 88, a cry for deliverance from death. Anybody got any comments on that? Okay, I got one right here. I want to shine light on. It says, uh, okay, let me find it. It says, okay, let me see if I can find. Oh, here you go. Verse 9 it says, mine eyes mourned by reason of affliction. Lord, I have called, Lord, I have called daily upon thee. I have stretched out my hands unto thee. So, what is he talking about? So, there's a lot going on with that. So, I showed you how that it, it, Red Sea, when Moses at the Red Sea, the Lord of hosts was there, just like he was at the waters of Moriah. He's on the rock, and Moses is standing there. Moses can see him, but the Israelites can't see him. That was the reason Moses wasn't able to go into the land, because he hauled off in anger and struck the rock and made it look like he had all the power. And, he denigrated the Most High. That's why he wasn't able to go in the promised land. So I'm showing. He said right here in verse 9 that this person praying to the Lord of hosts said he called him, seeked him daily, and he stretched his hands out to him. Right? So at the Red Sea, Moses stretched his hands out. Right? So the Most High the one, the Lord of hosts the one opened up the Red Sea, but Moses stretched his hands out to him. That's a way of seeking the Most High. That's a way of humbling yourself to him. Stretch your hands out to him. So on this line right here, I keep on saying that the Lord of hosts, God is over Israel, is an angel, and he ain't Yahweh. All these different conversations that these Noah walked with, and Adam came in the cool day. Adam, it's not Yahweh. It's his right hand man, the Lord of hosts, right? So let's look at it. Based on what I just read in Psalm 88 and verse 9, where he said he stretched his hands out. He's seeking him, and by his way of seeking him, is stretching his hands out. And another thing, before I go there, go back to the images of the transatlantic slave trade. When they was capturing all those Israelites, bringing them down to the seashore, and when they brought them over here at the auction blocks and all that, they were stretching their hands out. But the Most High didn't cut them off. They were stretching their hands out. They was on their knees and they throwing their hands up in the air. White men didn't understand that, but they pleaded to the Most High, but he had already told them they was cut off. He said the heavens above is like brass, and the earth beneath is like iron. You wasn't getting nothing from the earth, it wasn't getting nothing from heaven. But they knew to do that, stretch their hands out. So with that understanding, we're gonna go to Daniel chapter 12. We're gonna see right here, just with this understanding here, that the God is over Israel and none of Yahweh. Okay, so I'm in chapter 12 of Daniel. Okay, chapter 12 of Daniel, and I'm gonna start at verse 1. I'm gonna tell you who the God of Israel is right here. So chapter 12, verse 1 of Daniel says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of our people. Right? So he's standing for the children of our people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even at the same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. So right here, the book he's talking about is the book of remembrance. Ain't no New Testament. So he ain't talking about no New Testament. So he says, everyone that's found in the book. And then also he says that at that time, Michael shall stand up. And when he stand up, is when they get delivered. So that tells me that's the delivery, right? So anyway, we keep going. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake. Some to everlasting life, some to shame and everlasting contempt. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as stars forever and ever. But thou, Daniel, shut up the words, seal the book. New Testament ain't in it, like I said. Even to the time of the end, many shall be to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. So let's look at that right quick. It said, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words, seal the book. So who told him to open it back up? He just told him right there, seal it up to the time of the end. Who told him to open it up? And proclaim John the Baptist and Mark and Luke and John and Jesus and all them. Who told him to open it up? He just told Daniel right here, seal up the book, shut the words up until the time of the end. See that? So where the decree come from to open it up? Back up. Okay? Anyway, 5. Then I, Daniel, looked, and behold, there stood the other two, one on one side of the bank of the river, and the other on the other side of the bank of the river. Well, these angels, right? And so Uriel and Gabriel, the matter of fact, go back to chapter 7 and 8. You see that. This is a continuation from chapter 7 and 8. It says, and one said to the man clothed in linen, which is upon the waters of the river, right? How long shall it be unto the end of these wonders? So let's look at that, rightly divided. So 3 men came to Abraham. They was angels. All 3 of them was angels. But 3 came right here in Daniel. They angels. It's one on one bank is an angel, Gabriel, and the one on the other bank is Uriel, angel. And it's a one clothed in linen that's on the waters. It's Michael. Michael. Let's look what he do. 7. And I heard the man clothed in linen. This is Michael. We're going to stop fumbling with it. I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river. He's standing on the middle of the river. He's standing on the water in the river. He's in the middle of the river. And says, and he held up his right hand and his left hand under heaven. So he stretched forth his hand. Just like the man just said in Psalms. He's seeking his Lord. His Lord is Lord of hosts, the Redeemer of Israel. Isaiah 66 and 44 and 6. Yahweh the King, and he got a Redeemer, and his Redeemer is the Lord of hosts. It's him right here. So this Lord of hosts got a Lord over him, which is Yahweh. So in verse 7 it says, and I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the water. This God is over Israel, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand under heaven. So if this Yahweh, who is he holding his hands up to? If it's Yahweh. This ain't none of Yahweh. He's doing the same thing that the man in Psalms did. So he's stretching his hand to heaven to his master, his Lord. His Lord is in heaven. We know who that is. Go one more place. You know, we get off this. Deuteronomy 32. Deuteronomy 32. I gotta keep on reiterating this. So I'm in Deuteronomy 32. I'm gonna start at 34. We're going to 41 and 42. It says, is not this laid up in store with me and sealed up among my treasures? To me belong vengeance. So we're gonna see right here the same Yahweh. To me belong vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste. For the Lord shall judge his people. See that? We're going to see what this is. For the Lord shall judge his people and repent himself of his servants when he seeth that their power is gone and there is none shut up or left. And he shall say, where is their gods, their rock, in whom they trust, which did eat the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their drink offerings? Let them rise up and help you and be your protection. Now here you go. He proclaiming, he telling you right here who he is. See now that I, even I, am he. There is no other God. See that? Lowercase. El, Elohim, angel, with me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. See that? So he's the deliverer. He ain't trying to be the creator or the God Yahweh. He tells you right here, I'm the deliverer. Can't nobody deliver out of my hands. I'm the deliverer. I'm the Lord of hosts, the deliverer, the Savior, Israel. 39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God, lowercase, El, angel, with me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hands. At 40. I lift up my hands. See that? Here you go again. He lifting his hands, stretching out his hands. He's not just stretching them out to the cosmos for the hell of it. He's stretching them out because his Lord is up there. Yahweh. So it says, for I lift up my hands to heaven, and I say, I live forever. 41. If I with my glistening sword, you know who that is. You know, as I say, you can fumble with it. It says, and my hand have taken hold of judgment, and I will render vengeance to my enemies, and I will reward them that hate me. So we see right there 2 precepts that the God over Israel stretching forth his hands under heaven to Yahweh. Okay? So, with that being said, any comments on that? Okay, everybody good? I hope somebody got something out of that. So I'm gonna go to current events. Anybody got a current event? Okay, got a couple right here. Okay. You see that?
Yes. In the situation in Ukraine, you've seen how.
Oh, OMG. 1 minute. Sorry about that. Lost. Let me see. Get something else. Okay. Yeah, I was talking. I was listening to a broadcast the other day about this by Queen Charlotte, and I'm gonna show it to you. I showed these images on a couple of my non-Messianic conversations that I had, but
had many satirical newspaper cartoons,
so
bringing in the exact.
What's going on is he said back in the day they had this one of the queens that ruled over Great Britain was a mulatto woman, Queen Charlotte. And matter of fact, this was they named Charlotte, North Carolina after her. So I'm gonna play this.
Exaggerated features and wits of famous individuals of the time. Queen Charlotte of England, with her wider nose and bigger mouth, became an easy target for the press. Hello everyone, and welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Here on Mortal Faces, I take historical portraits and transform them using Photoshop to see how famous individuals we read about might have looked in real life. And in this video, we will be taking a peek at the controversial English Queen Charlotte, as well as a little bit about her family tree. So let's get started. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more historical recreations. And let me know in the comments who you'd like to see in real life. Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Strelitz is known as the controversial Black English Queen. A lot of it has to do with how she looks in her portraits. As a disclaimer, I'm not.
Can y'all hear that?
Yes.
Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay.
Not going
Not
to
going
try
to
to
try to
prove or disprove any particular opinion about her. Rather, I'm simply giving a quick, easy, short history and how artists might have viewed her in real life. Charlotte was born in 1744 into the royal family of Mecklenburg-Strelitz, a duchy in northern
Take the
Germany.
same thing.
She was the youngest
King
daughter
James.
to the Duke, and as a minor German princess in an insignificant German duchy. She wasn't brought up with real political ambitions, and this made her suitable for the next King of England. George III of England married her in 1761. She was 17 and he was 23. Of their 15 children, 13 survived into adulthood, including the next two kings of England, George IV and William IV. But it was his fourth son, Prince Edward, Duke of Kent, that fathered Queen Victoria. So King George III was Victoria's grandfather, and Charlotte was Victoria's grandmother. I know these details can be confusing, so the vague way I easily remember this is the 1700s Britain was ruled by King George, called the Georgian era. The 1700s in France was Marie Antoinette and Versailles. So Marie Antoinette and George are all of the same generation. Therefore, anytime King George III pops up, I think of Georgian England, which is the 1700s, which is Versailles, and that's the timeline we're in. She was timid at first, but talked a lot amongst people she knew. Her life at court was controlled by her mother-in-law, who insisted on keeping track of who she stays in contact with. She appointed Charlotte's staff and made sure everyone was following rigid court etiquette. But Charlotte was like her husband, King George, much more relaxed, preferred what you'd coincide with family suburban life, and they even went on walks through town without servants. It was quite a challenge when her husband started to fall ill, though. It began in his late 20s and he died at 81 years old. So the majority of his life he had to battle mental illness. No one.
So this is what Hitler was talking about, just for GP. You know, add connect another dot to this. He's saying that when those Edomites came in there, I told you in 70 AD, they was ran out. Israel had been gone. So when they was ran out, they sent them, they got Harris lineage, sent them to Spain. They had Negro features, some Negro features in there. So Hitler said that when he was ruling the world, conquering the world, he had a problem with the Jews. He said that they had brought Negro features into Europe. And he was calling himself weeding it out because of the German people was blonde hair, blue eyes, and they was the Aryan nation, the chosen nation. And he said that those Edomite Jews had brought Negro features into Europe and contaminated the Aryan race. That was his train of thought. So, like I said before, when you holler Josephus was an Israelite. He wasn't no Israelite, he's an Edomite. King James, all them Edomites. You have to understand that. Okay, play a little more of this.
Knows the true cause, but it could have been bipolar disorder, arsenic poisoning, or another psychiatric disease. This caused him to often withdraw from daily business and recuperate in.
So it ain't nothing new that with Queen Elizabeth. You know, I mean with the girl now that's with Harry. Can't think of her name. Marco, whatever her name is.
Is it Megan?
Megan, yeah, Megan Marco. Can't find something on here. Hey, okay, you know, Yeah, here you go. Yeah, give me 1 minute. Okay. Okay. Had to backtrack on something.
In Ukraine, you've seen how the world is responding. Now let me show you how the world is covering this invasion. I'm talking about the media, especially Western channels. How are they covering Russia's invasion? With blatant racism. Let me say something at the outset. As journalists, we do not filter hardships and pain. We do not see caste, color, or gender. And we have stuck by this principle. When the Taliban stormed Kabul, we stood with Afghans. When Ethiopia attacked its own people, we questioned them. When unarmed black teenagers were gunned down in the US, we joined the outrage. Today, we are doing the same. We see the plight of the Ukrainian people, and we have reported on their hardships. But what about the Western media? They too are reporting on the crisis, on the war, on the refugees. But they do not see hardships. They only see race, the color of your skin, the color of your hair. Let me show you exhibit number 1. This exchange happened on the BBC, the so-called Guardian of Unbiased Reportage. Listen to how their panel describes the refugees from Ukraine.
It's very emotional for me because I see European people with blue eyes and blonde hair being killed.
Damn. Ain't that something?
People with blue eyes and blonde hair. That is why the so-called expert on the BBC is emotional, not because the people are homeless, not because their country is being invaded, but because their hair is blonde. On social media, a lot of people are defending the BBC. They say it's a guest, not their anchor. Let me take you back to September last year. Another guest was speaking on the very same channel, South Asian expert Christine Fair. She called out Pakistan's links with the Taliban. Do you remember what the BBC presenter did? She shut her down. She said it was violating the channel's unbiased coverage. So exposing terror links is a violation. Blatant racism and white supremacy is fine. Gold standard indeed. Now for exhibit number 2, NBC News from the US. Listen to this.
These are not refugees from Syria. These are Christians, they're white, they're very similar.
Very similar to us. How so? Because the Syrian refugees are Muslims, their skin is darker, their hair is not blonde. So Europe does not want them. And remember, this is not being said at some white supremacy cult. This is happening on live television. Exhibit number 3, CBS News, another American broadcaster. Their reporter is appalled by the war, not because there is death and destruction, but because it is happening in Europe.
Like Iraq or Afghanistan, this is a relatively civilized, relatively European city where you wouldn't expect that or hope that it's going to happen.
So Iraq and Afghanistan are uncivilized countries. Their people are uncultured. Their regimes are irresponsible. So they deserve war. They deserve hundreds of bombs and years of occupation. What about Ukraine? According to CBS, no. Ukraine does not deserve war or hardships because Ukraine is civilized. And now for the final exhibit. This one is not from the West. It is from Al Jazeera in Qatar. This anchor simply cannot comprehend the idea of European refugees.
What's compelling is just looking at them, the way they're dressed. These are prosperous, I'm loath to use the expression, these are prosperous middle-class people. These are not obviously refugees trying to get away from areas in the Middle East that are still in a big state of war. These are not people trying to get away from areas in North Africa. They look like any European family that you would live next door to.
That reporter is confused about the refugees. They look middle class, they look like Europeans. How is something so bad happening to them? Well, this is what systemic racism looks like.
Do you remember the 2015 refugee crisis? Around 1.3 million people sought asylum in Europe. Most of them were from Syria, Afghanistan, and Nigeria. Do you remember how the West reacted? They shut their borders, they herded the refugees like cattle, and they branded them as terrorists. Back then, Western reportage was quite different. Let me show you what the BBC did. They prepared 7 charts depicting the refugee crisis. Let's focus on chart number 5. Which European countries are most affected? Now remember.
Okay. Anybody got any comments on that? Okay. Yeah, so I showed that because of showing you how they subliminally, you know, they denigrating you, and we're not even really grasping it. They put it right in your face, but you ain't grasping. And it's not just with that. It's a whole bunch of different aspects of life that's happening to us, but you know, they ain't registering. You know, so we got a warning right here. Check this warning out.
They're not letting the black girl go. 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 The black girl go. They're pushing her. They're not letting her go. They're not letting her go. Is it right?
We don't have arms. We don't have arms. We don't have arms. We don't have arms. We are students. We are students. We don't have arms. We are students. We are students. Everybody go down. You are dying of cold. We've been here for 3 days. We died of cold. 3 days. This is unfair. This is unfair. 1.1 as foreigner. 1.1 as gone. 1.1 on us. You have to find the rest of your fight. Please, go online on Instagram. We don't have arms. We don't have to go. We are students. We are students. No. What the fuck is happening? We don't have arms. We don't have arms.
Hello and welcome, family, to Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Seraki. This is an urgent message to our family in Europe, beloveds, to everyone who is either a student there, who is working there, and your origins are in Africa. Beloveds, it's time to get out of Europe. What you're seeing happening to our Ukrainian brothers and sisters, where many have been pushed on trains. There's literally, Russia has invaded Ukraine. It's another narrative. Please check my other channel for more details on this Dr. Mumbi Spiritual Show. But beloveds, what we're seeing coming out of Ukraine, you guys should not take as a joke. This is serious. This is really, really serious. We're seeing hundreds of our brothers and sisters, women with young children as young as 2 months old, being pushed off trains because they're black. You see, what has happened is that the Ukrainian government has actually offered free trains to the borders, to the Polish borders and other European borders. And our brothers and sisters are facing like the worst racism of our time. They've been refused to board, on these trains. Many are seen, actually, it's the police. It's not even just our Ukrainian brothers and sisters. It's the police, Ukrainian police, who are pushing our brothers and sisters off these trains. And then when they get to the borders, they're not being allowed to cross. Whereas other Europeans, Arabs, and Indians, that's the message we're getting, beloved. But the most important thing is, and there's more details on the other channel, but the most important thing is you need to get out. You need to take what is happening in Ukraine as a copy-paste what would happen in Europe if sugar was to hit the fan right now. If sugar was to hit the fan, whether you're in the divided kingdom, whether you're in, France, whether you're in Italy, whether you feel like you're one of, you're one of the people, you call yourself British African or French African, beloveds, get out of that illusion. It's a massive illusion. And if you're a big family, maybe money is tight right now, like find a way to send your family home in waves. Send the mothers, the children, and the elderly home first. Then do it like that in phases, but the time has come. Don't delay anymore. Like, this isn't even stoppage time. And that's why I'm recording on this main channel, because I know a lot of you used to watch this channel. We literally had to fight to keep this main channel when there was this whole purge because of the truths we were revealing about African presidents and African governments. Beloveds, I want to tell you, no one is coming to your rescue. Here in Africa, the most we can do is tweet about it. Maybe have, try and make those tweets go viral. But in terms of, maybe we can also raise funds to donate to you. But to get you out, you are on your own. That's basically what I wanted to say. Like, you are seriously on your own. Your government is not going to help you. Your governments are run by puppets, beloveds. And those puppets are being controlled by the ones who are doing this. And the thing is, you are the least important. You are, in their eyes, you're the least valuable. But invert that, because you're the most valuable, because, spiritually, but I talk about that on the other channel. But invert it, beloveds. Invert it to know the truth, because you are the most special, but you'll be special, but you'll be made to feel like in this game of chess, you'll be made to feel like you are the least valuable. And really start to ask yourself, why are you still there? Why are you still in Europe, beloveds? What is it that
Okay, in the comments, this is dear Africans in Europe, get out and come home. It's time. This is Dr. Mooney channel. You want to watch all that.
Right. I was reading an article where it was saying that Ghana has been able to get most of their people out of there.
Okay.
Yeah, I was reading an article on that, but it was saying that Kenya and Nigeria are not yet to welcome their nationals back home. So it's almost like they are disowning them because
they don't have access to get out of there. Like they just, like she was showing you, they pushing them off the trains and they're not allowing them to come through the border, to the borders crossings, and they treat them like same thing over here. And like she said, when the chaos comes, they're gonna get worse.
So it makes me think, what's up with Ghana's president and Putin? From a video you showed last week, because the article was saying they were able to get a lot of their people out of there.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And they're saying now a lot of them are even coming up missing,
Right. Oh, yeah. And there's some.
Yeah. And I don't think it matters. I kept hearing gentlemen screaming, "We are students, we're students." Right. That don't matter.
They had guns drawn on them.
Right.
Right. And with all that going on, check this out. This show you how thorough we are as a people.
Hello fam, welcome back to the African Diaspora News channel. I'm Angel Zalalem, bringing you this report. Today's report is about Nigerians being banned from joining the Ukraine war. This comes after a few men in Nigeria went to the Ukrainian embassy to ask if they can be recruited to fight the Russia-Ukraine conflict that is going on right now. And they said that they were told they need to pay $1,000 for them to pay for air ticket and also visa for them to join the war. So the Nigerians said, nope. The only reason why we were joining this war is because we wanted money. Like, we don't have that kind of money, so we won't pay. But now the government is saying, no, like, you cannot do it. Even if you wanted to, there is no way that we are allowing Nigerians to go fight the battle for Ukraine. We don't allow Nigerians to become mercenaries. So that's what the Nigerian government said. But a Ukrainian embassy came out and they said they never asked people to join the war for them on their behalf. And they said it's just the Nigerian men that actually came to them and asked if they can be recruited. And they said they never told them anything about $1,000. I don't know if I believe that, because this comes after the Ukrainian ambassador to Senegal posted on Facebook asking Senegalese people to come and join the war, help them, and be like part of this conflict that is going on. And the Senegalese government swiftly came out and said they shouldn't do that, and they should take down the Facebook post. And some actually Senegalese men, about 30, already signed up to join the war. So, we already know at least some embassies have asked African people to join their war. Not just them, even the president himself of Ukraine announced, said on his last speech, he told people globally, can you come and help us? So that can be considered as asking people to join their war, right, and fight on their behalf. So I don't know if I believe what the Ukraine embassy to Nigeria said, but that's what they said, and Nigeria banned. And frankly, I am with the government of Nigeria. Why should our people go out there and fight and die? For what? Why? Already they are discriminating against our people in Ukraine. And why should I go and defend their country when I have my country plus their people hate on my people? It just does not make sense to me. Anyways,
okay. Any comments? I did some. I mean, I don't know what's going on with that. All these black men want to go and fight in the Ukraine war. I mean, they feel like they're obligated to go fight in the Ukraine war. I mean, I'm bedazzled. Okay. Okay, if nobody have any comments, I'm gonna open it up for some Q&A. Anybody got any questions or comments about anything before we go into the discussion that I have for tonight? Okay, I'm gonna play this right here, and then we go into the discussion. Okay.
This was yesterday's headline. How does it end? Europe wonders who's next. Colon on edge. White House trying to prevent world war. There's a lot of moving parts when it comes to world history.
Then saw I a dream. Behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feathered wings, 3 heads. And I saw, and behold, she spread her wings over all the earth, and all the winds of the earth flew on her, and were gathered together.
So this eagle is a female. 12 wings, 3 heads, and the wings is spread all over the entire earth. It's grabbing all the power together. Let's get Daniel chapter 7, verses 2.
Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold the 4 winds, the heavenly scroll, and the great sea. And 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another.
Every beast is different from each other, but the 4 winds is pertaining to peoples or wars. Let's get Revelation 17 and 15.
And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth,
it's a woman again,
our people, our
peoples,
and multitudes, and nations, and tongues.
It's the same connected piece to the same bird who came out from the sea. The sea is dealing with people. The water is a sea, an ocean of people.
And I saw that all things under heaven were subject unto her.
The Bible says that everything under heaven serves this female beast. Go ahead.
No man spake against her. No, not one creature was unquote.
A beast that is both a he and a she, operating in the last days to bring the end times. The times that we live right now is a time of pride. People talk about Russia is communist. If that's the case, how come there's so many billionaires in Russia? The book of Genesis talks about Esau living his life by the sword.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
This eagle is where we are today. We're watching the towers of the eagle right now.
And he said unto me, this is interpretation of the vision.
Read.
The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel.
So Daniel and Ezra are connected to each other. The prophecies are connected with each other. Well, let's look into something interesting that some of y'all may not even know. This is from the LA Times. The Jews in Hitler's military. They're all one family. Remember, the Khazars are the same Russian people, are the same people here, there, and everywhere. And they're the same ones in our land right now. Go ahead and read, keep up.
Jewish ancestry of more than 1,200 Hitler's soldiers, including 2 field marshals and 10 generals, men commanding up to 100,000 troops.
Can you imagine that you have Jewish Nazis who commanded up to 100,000 troops? That's a large number of men to control. How come they don't talk about this thing when they show you Schindler's List? Do you know that those movies are put up by the same Ashkenazim people? They work for both sides of the fence. As you see what's going on in Ukraine right now, we're going to get into that. This is a sacrifice.
German officer in uniform visited his Jewish father in
Sachsenhausen
concentration camp in 1942.
Keep a tablet magazine.
The Jews who fought for Nazi Germany.
Read.
Helmut Milburn, 1st June 1880 to 20th November 1941, was a German officer who was technically Jewish.
One of the top-ranking Nazis in Hitler's administration took this Helmut Wilbur and reclassified his family background as being what? Aryan. Don't be fooled when you see a lot of these white supremacists talking about the Aryan this and Aryan that. A lot of them are Jewish. There goes a three-headed bird of communism right here. See it? Stalin over here, Vladimir Lenin over here, and Trotsky over here. The three-headed birds together on the communist side of things. These are the people who wrote the Constitution for the Soviet Union. Ashkenaz was writing the Constitution for communism, brothers and sisters. How about the destroyers of worlds? Ashkenaz, this is the short list over here. You got Richard Feynman, Robert Sieber, Stanley Frankel, Isidore Perlman, Alvin Weinberg, as part of the short list of the bomb makers for the atomic bomb. These are the people that's supposed to be chosen people who serve the Most High, that they want to bring peace, to be a light to the Gentiles. The light that they want to bring is a big glowing light that explodes and puts out this thermonuclear sun on the earth. Yeah, so what the guy is bringing forth is showing you that, you know, contrary to what we believe,
We ain't figured it out, but these Edomites behind all that. They're behind all of it, and so many people haven't figured that out. They're trying to rightly divide the scriptures, but they don't understand that, you know, as far as they're concerned, they're saying that Esau was annihilated. But I was communicating with somebody the other day, and the scripture just keep ringing in my head about. He tells us that when they was born, there were twins born, and Jacob grabbed a hold of Esau's heel. Right. So the prophecy on that is that Jacob is Esau, the end of this world that we see coming to an end, and Esau is the end of this world. Jacob is the beginning of the world to come, the one that's getting ready to come into existence. So if Esau the end of this world, that means that Esau is going to be ruling at the end. And we see the prophecy says that the eagle had 3 heads, and then those 3 heads were reserved to the end to bring about the end times for this age. And so the middle head awake at the very end and ate up the other 2 heads. So that middle head got to be Esau, not America. So, like I said before, you got people that's not rightly dividing the scriptures for and not seeing them for what it's worth. So, like I said, Esau is the end of this world. Jacob is the beginning of the one to come. So, if the end of this world is Jacob, the end of this world, it ain't America. Where's Esau at? Where's his nest at? His nest is in the land of Israel, posing as the Israelites. And they tell you it's a woman, and not only that, it's a harlot. So it's a good nation of people posing like Israel. Israel, the true Israel, is the Most High bride, female. But now, after Esau came in the land stolen in 143 BC, there's a whore there, a harlot in the land. That's the woman that's riding on the beast, full beast. That's the head that wakes up and eat up the other 2 heads. It's not America. And just for GP, I want to show you something else too. So the Israelite culture is certain things that the Israelites need in their culture because of the way they live. So same way in America, it's certain things that comes out of America because of those commodities are being used a lot in America. So you can see those commodities when you start listing the things that America exports. So let's just go to I'm gonna go to Revelations, but like I said before, if you've been on this channel long, you know that all they did was the New Testament was took scriptures out of the Tanakh and stuck them over here in the New Testament to get a New Testament some credence. Plagiarism. So let's look at it. I'm in 18 of Revelation. See what I'm talking about. So I'm in chapter 18. And it's supposed to be Babylon. They saying it's Babylon, but I'm showing you it's Israel, nation Israel, right now. Like I said, all these weapons, all these high-tech weapons that's being used over in Ukraine and all that. The reason why the Ukrainians are able to do what they do, they getting all their weaponry and all that from Israel. Israel got the #1 Air Force, but people don't know that. So I'm in I'm in Revelation 18 verse 8. Therefore shall her plague, see that her whore, the whore, and it's not America. Therefore her plagues come in one day, death and mourning, famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judges her. So you can look at this, you can do what you want to do with it. So 9, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bemoan her and nominate for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, right? So standing afar for the fear of her torment, saying, Alice, Alice, that great city. See that? That great city, Babylon, that mighty, before in 1 hour judgment shall come. And here we go. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth her merchandise. So now you can list of merchandise. So we're gonna see that it comes from Israelite culture. So it says, the merchant of gold, silver, precious stones, pearls, fine linen. See that? Go back to the Old Testament. The fine linen. And purple, that's Israel color. Silk, scarlet, fine wood. That's what he told Moses to go. That's what he told him to go get when they was overlanding gold on all of them. He told him to go get this wood right here. All manner of ivory, all manner of vessels of most precious wood, brass, iron, marble. Here we go. See, you go. Cinnamon, odors, ornament, frankincense. See that? That's coming out. That's Israel. Frankincense, wine, oil, fine flour. Not flour, fine flour. That's what the Most High told him to put on the sacrifices. Go back and look at it. Say, and wheat and beasts, sheep, horses, chariots, slaves, and souls of men. So when you look at that and you see that the merchandise that's being sold, it's all this stuff being sold in Israel, because Israel posing as Israelites. They got our culture, and they're using all this stuff in our because they're posing as our culture. Like I said, it's a harlot posing as a real woman. Esau, the synagogue of Satan. Okay, so anyway, I was gonna play that. It's just, for some knowledge and for some understanding. Anybody got any comments on it? Another tape. Okay, so now we're gonna go into this topic for discussion. I was telling you that the other nations, we the only ones that's ignorant to the fact that we just now starting to find out who we are, but these other nations is no break in their understanding of history and the truth about history. All these other nations know who the Israelites are. They know who the real Israelites are. But because these Edomites and spread over the whole world and got all the wealth and money and hoarded all the money, they got stranglehold on everybody. Well, they just certain things they can't say or do, or they'll come up missing. So with that being said, I'm gonna play something with you and we'll talk about it.
What's up, Zion Dynasty? This is your boy, the man, the myth, and the legend, Mr. JB Zion. Y'all show me some love. Show me some love. Yoruba, Benai Ibrahim of the tribe of Joseph, of the seed of Jacob, i.e. your favorite dreaded Israelite, where we drop in history, we drop in DNA, we going into the 12 tribes. Welcome to Zion Dynasty. First, I want to say shalom, peace, love, blessings, black power to all my Israelite brothers and sisters. I also want to extend a warm greeting to all my Gentile brothers and sisters, those that are not with the business, those that support Israel, the Most High, Yah's chosen people. I love y'all so much. Y'all just don't understand the love that we're getting, y'all. I could not do any of this without the grace of the Most High, God, without His truth, and without the support of you guys. You guys make it possible for Zion Dynasty to go to the four corners of the earth and teach the diaspora that we're not Crayola colors. We're not two continents slapped together like a lonely sandwich. We are, in fact, the biblical descendants of the children of Israel. Deuteronomy 28, Joel chapter 3, the Bible prophecies, the DNA evidence, the archaeology, the oral tradition, all points to us. And this is the channel where we're going to deal with it. And today, I got another banger for you guys. All praise to the Most High God. So in today's video, this is actually going to be a precursor video to a new series we're going into, y'all. And this has been much requested. Shout out to my brother T. Turner. Shout out to so many Israelites that have been talking about Esau. Well, who is Esau? Is he the Arab? Is he the white man? How did A mother give birth to a black and a white twin, they both were twins, we're going to deal with Esau, y'all. Because now that we know that we're Israel, now that we have Harvard sources like Tudor Parfit, Cambridge sources like African Zion, Oxford sources like Edith Bruder's book, now that we have the oral tradition of the Yoruba people themselves that is attested to by Cambridge sources, Ulysses Santa Maria, Harvard places E1B1A in the land of Israel. My true ancestry shows our DNA in Spain, the Sephardic Jews. It's so much evidence now, y'all. So now we need to know who is our chief nemesis, right? When you look through scripture, Esau, Edom has always been the vein of Israel's existence. Edom has always had this perpetual hatred towards God's people. And there is a people, Zion, that lead the nations and keeping our people destroyed. This sounds, I know a lot of y'all like, oh no, JB, you talking about some conspiracy theory. Y'all hear me out. There is a chief ethnicity in the earth. And when I say ethnicity, it's a fluid concept because Esau has mixed his seed with a lot of different people. That's why I understand how a lot of our people think that Arabs are Esau. Now, are some of those pale-skinned Arabs Esau? Absolutely. But Esau has hidden himself. But the Bible tells us that Edom is the arch nemesis of Israel, that Edom would be in the last days. The scripture says in 2nd Ezra, let's look at it. In 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, it says, for Esau is the end of the world, but Jacob is the beginning of the world to come. So what we see right now with all these wars, we got Russia on the scene, we got China. The Most High is about to execute vengeance on all nations. The Bible, we just saw in 2nd Esdras, lets us know that the last empire that will be ruling the earth before Yeshua's return would be Esau, would be Edom, right? The book of Obadiah describes Esau. Let's go through the book of Obadiah. So now let's look at the book of Obadiah, shall we? So in Obadiah, it's only one chapter. We're going to start at the first verse. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord Yah concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Most High Yah, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. So the Most High is letting you know that there is going to be a war, the war of Armageddon, where the Most High executes vengeance against Esau and all those nations that we talked about in Psalms 83 that have conspired to keep Israel destroyed, to keep our people in a perpetual slavery in our minds, have destroyed our history, have whitewashed the images of the saints. God is going to rise up, the Most High Yah, in battle against Esau. That's of Satan. Now, this gets into the whole Khazarian thing about these Edomites that converted to Judaism. Now, this started way during the time of Yeshua. When you look at the Pharisees, a lot of the Pharisees, according to Josephus, were not Jews by birth. It gets deep, you guys. When you look at Judas Iscariot, it's deep, you guys. Esau's borders, if you look at a map, were then y'all, let's keep looking. So y'all, I'm gonna warn y'all, this is where it gets deep. On page 132 of The Nazis by Robert Hirstein, y'all get the book off Amazon before they pull it.
Here you go.
It says, in one segment of a Nazi instructional film, the genetic heritage of the Jew is purportedly traced to Oriental or Asian, Negro, Near Asian, and Hamitic people. Hence, the film concludes the Jew is a bastard. Y'all, we're going to deal with this. It's a lot in there. The Roman historian Tacitus believed that the Jews were of an Ethiopian origin. We've already gone through the Bible being an African book. Our people sojourned in Africa through various periods. Abraham went during the time of the famine. Isaac went during the time of the famine. Jacob and all the patriarchs went when Joseph was sold into Egypt. Joseph blended in into Egypt where his brothers couldn't recognize him. Moses was raised in Pharaoh's house when Pharaoh was trying to destroy the Hebrews.
Okay, so we see right here that the brother broke down the fact that like I said, I got a video on there, but he broke down the fact that Hitler was trying to tell everybody. He said that the United States got the apple of the Most High's eye over there, got the Most High Jews over there in America. And he said that World War II, when the whole world find it out, which is what's happening now, World War III gonna break out. That's where we at. That's what these people jockeying for. They know that now. It's becoming more and more evident. Prominent. And that's what all the drama's all about, because time done ran out. And like I said before, for people that, the stiff-necked people that ain't hearing this, you're gonna have to take that over with the Most High, because time running out. So, yeah. So I just wanted to shine a light on that, so put that out there for people that didn't know it. But yeah, Hitler said it on several occasions. He proclaimed that on several occasions about who the Israelites really were, and that it was a mass deception going on when it comes to that. Yeah. Any comments on that before I close out? Did anybody know that about Hitler?
I did not know.
Okay, well,
something new I learned.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna get ready to close out. I'm gonna play this little thing here, and then we'll close out. Okay.
Says that Pope Francis would be willing to facilitate dialogue to help stop the war in Ukraine. A large majority of the Ukrainian population identifies as Orthodox Christian, and while their religious leaders have publicly condemned the invasion, recent statements by the head of the Orthodox Church, Russian Patriarch Kirill, openly supported Moscow's invasion. This has splintered the worldwide Orthodox Church and is raising fears of religious strife.
It's 2020 and around 50 kilometers from Moscow, a cathedral is being inaugurated in honor of the armed forces, a sign of how tightly entwined Orthodox Christianity and politics are in Russia. The influence of the Orthodox Church leader is hard to underestimate. Moscow's Patriarch Kirill has made no bones about where his loyalty lies. He's spoken of Russia's opponents as evil forces, portraying Ukraine as a nation succumbing to what he calls sinful Western practices, such as gay pride parades. In Ukraine, some 30 million Orthodox Christians are split between a self-governing church and the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, which is part of the Moscow Patriarchate. But
okay, so you see how they got this church, saying that it's tied to the Most High, but actually it's tied to war, God of war. It's over here and over there. We see that it's all coming together. That's what these people are. Like you said, the Gentiles are warlike people, violent. So let me get out of this. So with that being said, like I said, I wanted to shine a light on that, but I was want to put a little information out there for everybody. If you like this channel and like what is going on with it and the information that's coming from it, and you feel the need to support it, it'd be greatly appreciated. So I want to put that out there. So with that being said, every little bit helps. Okay, so with that being said, I want to say shalom, and I'll see everybody tomorrow for Ask Brother Leonard. It's 8 o'clock. Shalom.